Today, September 15th, 2016, marks the 20th anniversary of the first Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio show produced at KSCO in Santa Cruz on September 15th, 1996, and every weekday since then. I want to publicly congratulate and thank Dr. Joel Wallach for 20 wonderful radio years of sharing his knowledge and unique experience to educate the world on the key to optimal health and long life: proper nutrition and supplementation, not toxic prescription drugs. During the nearly 2 years before we started the daily Dead Doctors syndicated radio show, KSCO received hundreds of phone calls from listeners who wanted to know Dr. Wallach's office number so that they could schedule an office visit and become his patient. But Dr. Wallach had already discovered that he could help more people with free lectures and media than on an individual basis in a traditional office environment. Besides, his message is simple: don't eat bad stuff, and do take all the nutrients the body needs to be healthy and live longer. This simple but incredibly powerful message, brilliantly combined with a growing citizen brigade to help him spread that message, that would be the Youngevity company which Dr. Wallach founded, is truly revolutionizing our broken healthcare system. I have witnessed countless numbers of people regain their health taking Dr. Wallach's advice, when traditional, big pharma-based treatment has not only failed, but frequently made their health challenges actually worsen. I have also seen many people who had always struggled to make ends meet become financially independent through the Youngevity business opportunity, which generously rewards those who help Dr. Wallach spread his health message. But on a personal note, Dr. Wallach and Youngevity have made it possible for KSCO to become and grow as a truly independent media outlet, a station that serves its community, as stations used to do, but rarely do in this age of ice-cold, exclusively bottom-line driven corporate media. Please join me and Doug Winfrey, Dr. Wallach's executive producer and co-host, in saluting this tireless health crusader as we present to him the ZBS Radio Network Ultimate Award for helping the highest number of people achieve independence in health and wealth. Happy 20th anniversary, Doc. You are the greatest.
Congratulations, Doc.
Well, thank you so much, Doug, and thank you so much, Michael. It's kind of a surprise, but it's a great surprise. And, of course, we have to thank, as you pointed out, we have to thank the Youngevity Nation, the Youngevity family, who really have become tireless students of the information. And we're in 55 countries now. We're publicly traded. We have an enormous reach. We have warehouses and offices, I don't know, in at least a dozen countries, and it's growing. This year we acquired and merged with, I think it was 8 companies, and we have 5 more who we're negotiating with right now, bring enormously useful and helpful products to our family. And, of course, we have tools for education. We've got the books and the DVDs and CDs, which are just absolutely flying out the door. We get huge orders twice a week from big international booksellers because they're being bombarded by everybody who hears the message through KSCO and Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And by educating people, we're saving lives. And as you point out, Doug, and as Michael pointed out in his wonderful congratulatory message, as I crisscross this country, and last year I gave 400 lectures. This year I'm going to be pretty close to that, maybe exceed that. So on some weekend days, Saturday and Sundays, I'll give 2 and 3 lectures. So that's how I can get 400 lectures a year. And basically, what's happening here is we are seeing thousands and thousands and thousands of testimonies every month, again, coming in from all over the world. And social media allows us to do wonderful things. One of the things we're going to try to do by the end of the year, when I put on an event, say in Dallas, Texas, or in Toronto, Canada, or Miami, or maybe in Puerto Rico, or maybe in London, England, or Auckland, New Zealand, we will be simulcasting this event to literally thousands of people all over the world. And some of them will have 10 people in their home to watch it. Some will have 300 or 500 people in an auditorium on a big screen. And we're even looking at in theaters and football stadiums and things like that, where we can have huge crowds get the message. And I'm looking to every night. The goal is to talk to more than 1 million people with this health message. It would be a travesty to talk to just 30 people a day and give out a message that can save literally millions of lives a minute. Right now in America, medical experts say that our children would be the first generation of Americans who will not live as long as their parents. Well, I'm not prepared to accept that. Of course, if nobody does anything, that prediction will come true. They're quite correct because of lack of nutrients in our food, and also because of lots of bad food, which tastes good, look good, smell good, and they're so attractive that people can't resist them, and these foods will actually kill you. And I've been saying this, since 1971, and people would laugh at me. Well, the World Health Organization came out just a couple of months ago and said processed meats, things like deli slices and sandwich meats and sausage and ham and bacon and bologna and salami and pastrami and pepperoni and jerky and Spam and all these kinds of things, will create cancer at the same rate as smoking one meal a day with those processed meats will create cancer at the same rate of risk as smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. What if you smoke cigarettes and have processed meat for 1 meal a day? You're going to get cancer. And just by avoiding these bad things, you're going to significantly reduce your risk of cancer. Then you throw in the nutrients to support your immune system, and you'll further reduce your risk of cancer. So thank you again, Michael. Thank you, Doug. And when we come back, we're going to go to work and do what we do best, and that's to educate our Youngevity family and Youngevity nation. And we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, I thought we'd talk a bit about the drug companies, as I've got a natural news story here headlined, Merck paid doctors nearly $20 million during a 6-month period to push drugs and vaccines. The corruption of the pharmaceutical industry runs deep, and new documents recently uncovered by VacTruth.com and Jeffrey John Alderhyde reveal that drug companies routinely spend millions to indoctrinate physicians into promoting the latest drugs and vaccines. Pharmaceutical giant Merck & Company Incorporated, maker of Gardasil, recently spent nearly $20 million speaking fees just during the final 2 quarters of 2009 to promote its drugs and vaccines, a small price to pay for the billions of dollars of profits that they make. They say the 72-page document outlines all payments made to so-called doctors for speaking engagements made on behalf of company interests during the statement period, publicly released to set a precedent for transparency at Merck, which ironically ceased after this first report was published. The documents outline all payments distributed for speaking engagements throughout the country. Drug companies pay fake doctors to promote vaccines to the real ones. As you will notice, there are literally hundreds of entries in the documents for thousands of speaking engagements on HPV, the human papillomavirus, diabetes, antibiotics, HIV, and other health conditions which Merck sells drugs for. All of these engagements took place in a second portion of 2009. Saying on average, each one of these individuals claims to be a doctor, but is really just a whore for the drug company and paid upwards of $2,000 per speaking event. And in 2009, they was nearly $19 million in just half a year. The documents outline subsequent speaking disbursements, and it goes on from there. Apparently, 1 year they spent $40 million on these things. And so, it's just another indication, Doc, of how these drug companies, are basically hoodwinking the American public, because most of these drugs only, treat side effects, or treat, the symptoms, and have a lot of side effects, most of which are usually death.
Exactly right. And of course, it's illegal and unethical for pharmaceutical companies or any company, banks or anybody else, to bribe or kick back money to doctors for them to promote a certain type of treatment or drug. And so what's happened is they have figured out, through following the example of politicians, that they can give speaking engagements, which turn out to be a 5-minute little coffee talk, in the pharmaceutical company's office. They'll get, like $50,000 for a 5-minute coffee talk. And so it's just, really outrageous for consulting fees and speaking fees and so forth, which are really just a sham to kick back to the doctor to push a particular line of drugs. And as you point out, with the exception of antibiotics, which do kill bacterial things like bacterial pneumonia and bacterial meningitis and syphilis and salmonella and these kinds of things, with the exception of antibiotics, which do kill bacterial infections, there's no other pharmaceutical that cures anything. They all treat symptoms. And of course, this is proactively created that way, even though there are many, many cures for various diseases. And so why would a pharmaceutical company and a doctor want to cure anybody of anything? Because then they only get a few days or a few hours worth of treatment payment. Whereas they treat them for years and years and years and years and years, and they will relieve symptoms, but there is the risk of death. Every one of the drugs that the pharmaceutical industry submits to the FDA and gets approved has a serious side effect, including death. It's just outrageous. And so people need to begin to take care of themselves, and that's what the Youngevity family is for. And I urge everybody to get a hold of the book Epigenetics, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, and learn how to deal with over 900 different diseases yourself. Save yourself, save your kids, and you do that, we'll save America. Well, stick with us. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Iowa. And Michelle, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Michelle, you're on the air.
Dr. Wallach.
Hi.
Hi. I've been having problems for almost 4 months now. I've got lots of different symptoms, and I've been to my primary doctor, a cardiologist, gastroenterologist, and nobody can figure out what's going on with me.
Well, give me some of your symptoms.
Okay, I've got low blood pressure, fatigue, short of breath, I'm lightheaded, dizzy, feel like I'm going to faint sometimes. I've had GI issues, my stomach, I've had pain in my stomach a lot, diarrhea, nausea. I've lost 10 pounds in a month. I've got tachycardia, my heart's racing all the time. Fatigue, that's just kind of the top of the line symptoms.
Sure.
But I've got a whole page
how
of
much
them.
do you weigh? How much do you weigh?
Right now I weigh 135.
Okay, and did you ever have any respiratory problems like asthma or bronchitis as a kid or a young adult?
No.
Did you ever have any skin issues, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or rosacea or acne?
No.
Okay, do you have children?
I do. I have 3 daughters. And I just had my last baby 5 months ago.
Just had your last baby 5 months ago? Your grandbaby or your baby?
Yeah. My baby, yeah. So
okay, and how old are you?
Shortly after.
Okay.
I am
how
36.
Old are you? Okay.
36.
And let's see, the new baby okay? No bronchitis, asthma, skin problems?
Yes, she's very healthy.
Okay, what about the 3 older girls?
Yep, they're all healthy. And, we all take our 90. So, I've been healthy, and then all of a sudden all these things started.
Okay. Have you introduced anything new into the house, like a dog or a cat?
No.
Okay.
But we moved into a new house last November.
Okay. Do you know if they had a dog in that house before you moved in?
No, they didn't.
Okay, well, hang on. I'll give you some suggestions after we come back. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go right back to Iowa and Michelle. Got a couple more questions based on what you told me here so far. You said you have tachycardia, rapid heart rate. Do you have a back problem of any kind?
I do get back pain sometimes, but nothing, significant.
Okay, well, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Let me be the judge of that, okay? The answer is yes. You do have back pain off and on. And is it between your shoulder blades? Is it in your lower back? Where's the back pain at?
Usually shoulder blades.
Okay. All right. And let's see here. Your kids, what do they eat for breakfast?
Usually cereal or toast.
What kind of toast?
Granola bar. Usually like a
Bingo,
cinnamon
bingo,
toast
bingo, 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 bingo. Granola bars are nothing but gluten. You have heavy gluten content in your house. The bread, the toast, the granola bars, there's your problem. The pain in between your shoulder blades every once in a while is the cause of your tachycardia, rapid heart rate. It's called atrial fibrillation. And it's caused by a squeezing of the roots of the first three thoracic spinal nerves coming out between T1, 2, 3, and 4, thoracic vertebrae number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they control the rate and rhythm of the heart. Have you shrunk any in height since you were 20 years old? Have you shrunk a half inch, an inch?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's why these roots of these nerves are getting squeezed, and that's why you have the rapid heart rate. So we already know what to do. And, of course, the gluten intolerance you've passed on to your kids, and if you don't think they have problems now, they will soon. And you may want to ask them critically, do they ever get diarrhea? Do they get constipation? Do they have 3 bowel movements a week? Or do they have hard, uncomfortable bowel movements? Do they have itchy skin, even though they might not be diagnosed with dermatitis? Do they have itchy skin? Do they have kind of a chronic low cough, unproductive, without mucus? Or do they wheeze after they exercise or anything like that? So ask your kids these things, and here's what we're going to do. You and your whole household have got to be gluten-free. You got to get rid of that granola out of the house. You got to get rid of the toast out of the house. Okay? Now, on the other hand, we do have Go Foods, which we have gluten-free foods. They have a 25-year shelf life, and so you might want to investigate those because we have finished products like meals that have, like I say, a 25-year shelf life. Just add hot water and maybe some fresh vegetables like tomatoes and bell peppers and carrots and peas and that kind of stuff. We also have breads and muffins, and we also have gluten-free flours that you can actually make things like pancakes and waffles and bread. You can yourself. You can make gluten-free bread. Okay, you can make those things yourself. But if you say the word granola, that means that you got gluten floating all over that house, and that's your problem. And you've passed that on to the girls. So absolutely no bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten. And hang on one more time, and I will give you a supplement program for yourself. And you have to do it also for your kids based on their body weight, because it's 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. They weigh 50 pounds. One pack will last them 2 months. If they weigh 30 pounds, it'll last them 3 months. And we'll be back, Michelle, after these messages. And Doug, let's go right back to Iowa and Michelle. Okay, what I need you to do, get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils of any kind, no olive oil, coconut oil, margarines, mayonnaise, seltzer, cooking oils, and no gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats in any way, shape, or form. There are no forms of oats that are gluten-free, although some people will try and sell that to you. That's because gluten in oats is called gliadin, and so it's kind of a word game. Also, like I say, we do have the Go Foods, which have all kinds of gluten-free sources of grain, rice and millet and buckwheat, that sort of stuff, potato, flour, and so on. Also, from a supplement standpoint, at 135 pounds with your problems, I want you to take 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, take a half a dose of everything twice a day. That's going to give you a high end of 245 nutrients, including all 90 essential nutrients appropriate for 100 pounds of body weight. And 1 healthy brain and heart pack will last you a month. Your kids should each get one also. And again, if they weigh 50 pounds, it'll be a 2-month supply. If they weigh 30 pounds, it'll be a 3-month supply. If they weigh 85 to 110 or 15, that'll be a 1-month supply. Divide it up, give them half a dose or anything for breakfast and dinner. And also for energy, we do have tea. We have great coffee, our Java Fit coffee. And we do also have our energy drink. And the gluten-free energy drink is Gushing Grape Pollen Burst. And, of course, then we also have Rebound, which is our sports drink. Remember, Gatorade has 2 nutrients, Powerade has 6, and Rebound has 100. Call me every couple of weeks. Let me know how your fatigue is doing. Let me know how your blood pressure is doing. You'll be amazed at what happens when you can absorb nutrients. When you have a gluten problem, you can't absorb nutrients. That would reflect itself in low blood pressure, fatigue, and these kinds of things. Also, you support and promote maintenance repair of the disc between your vertebrae, especially between T1, 2, 3, and 4. The pressure comes off the roots of those spinal nerves that control the rate and rhythm of the heart. And if that, in fact, is the case, you should see a return to normal pulse rate of your heart. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Houston, Texas. And Mary, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Mary, you're on the air. Hi, what's up?
Hi, Dr. Wallach. How are you?
Okay, thank you. What's up?
I have 2 dogs, and they're both sick, and I was wondering if you could help me find something that would make them feel better. I have a little terrier that's 20 pounds, 7 years old, with diabetes and cataracts, and a little chihuahua that's 9 pounds, 8 years old, and he just can't get over a cough. And we've tried everything we can do with our local vet, and the chihuahua just isn't getting better. Neither is the terrier, but,
Okay. Well, first of all, again, the first thing I would investigate is what they're eating. Make sure, read the label on the dog food. You feed them dry dog food or canned dog food?
They get a combination.
Okay. Well, read the labels on both of them and find out if they contain a grain. If it says grain-free, gluten-free, you're safe. If it says, contains natural grain, or if it says wheat-free, you could still have you could still have barley, rye, and oats in there. So you need to read the label very carefully in the ingredients and make sure there are no traces of wheat, barley, rye, and oats in there. And for both dogs, I'm assuming get the same dog food, just different amounts maybe. And then this could explain the 2 things. This chronic cough could be due to a deficiency of certain nutrients that cause a restriction in the bronchi, and so they get an asthma-like problem. And then when you have diabetes, this is a deficiency of minerals. And so the 20-pound puppy dog, I would give 1 scoop of the Arthrodex on, just make sure that the dog food is gluten-free again, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And I would add to a gluten-free dog food, whether it's dry or canned or a mixture, as you say, as 1 scoop of the Arthrodex per 25 pounds of body weight. So I start out with 1 scoop of Arthrodex for this a day for this 20-pound dog. I would also give that dog 3 of the EFAs, the omega-3 essential fatty acids, and that's going to help there. The little 5-pound dog, I would give 1/4 of a teaspoon of the Arthrodex every day. I'd also give 1 of the EFA capsules per day, and if the dog won't take it, puncture the soft gel capsule, squirt the contents into the dog's mouth or on the dog food. And then, let's see here. Let's start there. Okay, now the one with the diabetes, in addition to the Arthrodex and the EFAs, the one with diabetes, I'd also give the dog 1 of the Sweeties capsules a day. You can open it up, dump the powder on the dog food, or you can just pop that capsule down the doggy's throat, rub its little throat, and it'll swallow the capsule of the Sweeties. And you should see some result. High grain, even if it's rice or potatoes, high grain or plant carbohydrate sources for energy in these dog foods can contribute to type 2 diabetes. And so let's start there. Give us a call every couple of weeks. Let us know how puppies are doing. And these things should be resolvable. And I think it will be, started in a great way by doing these little adjustments. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to California. And Victor, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Victor, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
Yes. First of all, congratulations on 20 years on the CBS radio.
Well, thank you. It's been a great run. Yeah, and of course, Doug has just been a great asset to our listeners and the content of the show. He does an enormous amount of research for us, literature search, and so we're very proud of our association. And we just look at Michael Zwerling and Doug Winfrey as a super part of the Youngevity Nation. And so thank you for those kind words. How can we help you today, sir?
Yes, I'm calling about my brother-in-law. His name is Fernando, and he has a heart problem. He had been told that he has a weak heart, and he has gout, dry eyes, and dry skin, which are really bothering him. He's taking the 90 essential nutrients, plus glucogel and selenium. Should he be changing anything or adding portions to that, what he's taking?
What does he weigh?
180 pounds.
Okay. Does he have any history of skin problems or respiratory problems, anything like that?
No.
Okay. Well, even though you say no, he's got so many things going on here. Dry skin and dry eyes can be a combination of things. The dry eyes could be a secondary result of osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing a branch of the seventh cranial nerve. Dry skin could be a deficiency of certain nutrients. Gout. The liver is not happy because the liver is supposed to break down the uric acid into harmless carbon compounds. And then a weak heart. Do you know what that means? What does a weak heart mean?
Basically, this is what a Dr. Doug Winfrey would tell him. He was a chiropractor who practiced contact reflex analysis, and he would basically supplement him with something called Regenezyme Heart.
And has he showed any improvement? Stayed the same?
He has shown some improvements, but it's been too many years, and Dr. Winfrey passed away. So he's not sure how to go on. He's not satisfied.
How old was the doctor? How old was the doctor you think, that died?
77. He passed away in a car accident.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't count. Okay. Hang on, Victor. We'll be back, and we'll answer your questions after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity, Night for Life Crusade. And Doug, let's go right back to California. And Victor, all right, first thing, you got to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried food, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten. Get rid of all this stuff so your brother can maximize the absorption here, get rid of all the inflammation. I'd have him take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. That's our heavy-duty pack with a wide array of nutrients. And this is going to support cardiovascular system function. Is going to support the liver, which is important here because the liver not doing its job, breaking down uric acid, resulting in gouty symptoms. Okay, and I want you to, again, get 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs, full dose everything twice a day. And because he's been diagnosed as, quote, a weak heart, whatever that means, let's go ahead and support his heart some more. Let's go ahead and give him the ultimate daily classic tablets. I'd have him take 3 of those twice a day. It'd be 2 bottles a month. Let's see here. I would also get the glucogel, 2 large bottles a month, and this is for the dry eyes things because this can be a secondary to a osteoporosis of the skull. He can take 15 glucogel a day, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner. And lastly, again, going back to the heart, I'd have him take the CardioFX herbal capsules. I'd have him take 3 of those twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month. And then call me every couple of weeks if you would, Victor, and let me know how Brother's doing, and we'll walk you guys through this. Okay, Doug, we have time to start another one?
Yeah, we sure do. Let's head to Georgia. And Cheryl, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Cheryl, you're on the air.
Hey. Oh, hey. I've met a little friend yesterday. She has narcolepsy, sleep paralysis, cataplexy. I don't know if that's a separate thing. And then she's got this something hallucinations.
Okay. And what was that one? I missed one of them there. I got narcolepsy, catalepsy. There was another one in there before, hallucinations.
It's NOGOGIC hallucinations.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you know how much she weighs?
Oh, she weighs about 180 pounds.
Okay. How old, you think?
She's 27.
All right. All right. You know if she has any skin?
Oh, she's
only have a moment here.
I'm already working with her on her diet.
Okay, good. So you got to get rid of, she sounds like it. Okay, so I'd give her gluten-free, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, and no sugars here. But when you have narcolepsy and cataplexy, you're talking about reactive hypoglycemia. 180 pounds, I'd have her take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I'd also get her 2 bottles of the 2 bottles of the Sweeties. Let her take 3 twice a day. It'll be 2 bottles a month. And that is to support and promote healthy blood sugar levels, healthy sugar and carbohydrate metabolism at the cellular level. And for the hallucinations, I would also get her what we call the synaptive, so the brain cells can talk to each other properly. Absolutely. I'd have her take 2 or 3 of those synaptive twice a day, so it'll be 2 or 3 bottles a month, depending on how much you use. And let's see here. Also, I would go ahead and give her the D-stress capsules, capital D like David dash stress, and she could take 3 of those twice a month. It's 3 per 100 pounds of body weight, and 180 is close enough to 200. So I'd have her take 3 twice a day. There's 2 bottles a month of the D-stress capsules. And again, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, and no sugar of any kind. That means no juices, no fruit. She can get everything she needs from juices and fruit, from the steamed vegetables without the danger of the sugar. Absolutely no honey, no molasses, no agave syrup, none of that kind of stuff. And, of course, you got to watch it because if she eats something sweet and doesn't take the supplement program, her blood sugar will drop low, and these people pass out. They'll go to sleep after meals. They'll pass out when they're talking to you. They'll pass out when they're driving. I know people who pass out when they're driving, and they do head-on collisions and kill themselves or kill somebody else. So it's imperative she stay away from sugar, natural and processed, and she should have animal protein with every meal. And we're talking about eggs, red meat, chicken, and fish, nothing fried. Remember, no dusting with any wheat, barley, rye, or oats to have a crusty rub on them or anything like that. Got to watch it because there's wheat and gluten and everything. I'd go ahead and get her the CD called Serial Killer so she can find all the hidden places you can find gluten. Call us every couple of weeks, Cheryl, and bring us up to date on this lady. We'll walk you ladies through this. I want to thank everybody. Great testimonies today. Great questions. Thank you so much, Doug and Michael, for the wonderful anniversary note. Thank you, Richard, all the things you guys do. And we'll be back another day. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.